Namaste everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, hello, good morning. Namaste.
Morning. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, namaste. I see Amber. I see Dagmar. I know. At least the rest of the people, will you show your faces at least one time? Hope you are well. I have never seen you on the camera. Your camera is always off. Like Roo or Jennifer. Valeri, yes. Namaste,
I'm
Valeri.
still waking up, but maybe next time.
Okay, next time, directly give a surprise when you will present yourself in the next week. Surprise you. Okay. So I think you have just finished your therapy session. Would like to ask you, do you even have a time to breathe? I see you have just completed a therapy session now with Durgesh teacher. I know her from a very long time. Even before joining Himalayan Yoga, we were teaching both as well before. So great class, I think, with Durgesh. Anyway, we will start now with our opening prayer first. Please keep your back and spine straight and let me chant a mantra and Om one time. We will chant after. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyoti Gamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Take a long breath, everyone, and chant Om one time. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Open your eyes. Thank you. Dhanyawad. We have two sisters, Brittany Blaze. Yep. So, yesterday, two people have given me the day and the date or the topic, which was Valeri, and the other I forgot to write. So today, can you please repeat those two names? Who were they? Valeri? Can you unmute yourself?
It was me on Tuesday,
Yes, and the topic was?
the spine.
Yes, it's fine. So I will write today here in the whiteboard in the corner, so I will remember. And the next one was, thank you, Valeri, Dagmar. Yes, Dagmar?
Hey, that was me.
Yes, so,
Not Valerie. Dagmar was the spine on Tuesday.
okay, this was you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
See, my Zoom is like confused, my internet. It is showing Valerie on the screen, and you are speaking.
And
So,
for me, it was the endocrine system, Valerie.
on which day?
Saturday.
Oh, next Saturday. Okay, I will write you. Anyone else? Want to-
I will present. I'm Rue. Hello.
Yes,
I will present on Friday.
Friday.
But I'm a bit unclear on the topic because now we're covering new topics and they're also very
Okay.
interesting. So yeah,
Okay, okay.
okay.
Tell
But I
me
will
which-
definitely let you know. Yeah.
But tell me at least before Wednesday, next Wednesday, you can also tell.
Of course. Yeah, no
Okay.
problem.
Or on Saturday. Amber?
I will take Wednesday. And I
Okay.
will present on the skeletal system.
Great. For 15 minutes minimum, Amber. Okay, thank you so much. Anyone else?
Hi, yes,
No?
please. It's Blaze and Brittany.
Wait. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so for Brittany, I'd like to go on the 25th. I think that's Wednesday, and
Okay,
present on the
Brittany.
pelvic girdle.
I'll do a girdle. Yeah.
And for Blaze, may I please go on Thursday, the 26th? And I'm not so
Okay.
clear what to call my topic, but I would say on general yoga anatomy terminology regarding anatomy.
Okay, regarding. So basic, just all about anatomy in short.
Yes, in short, yes, that's relevant. So anatomy relevant to yoga.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. It is just a normal discussion. It will be there. Just a normal presentation. Thank you so much. And the rest who are left can tell me. This is not like you have to choose different days. You can choose any day. Okay. So we can continue. So like if one has chosen Saturday, Friday, doesn't matter. You can choose the same day as well. Okay. Yesterday, what were we studying? Let me endocrine system.
You
About the
did the
endocrine.
cells.
Mhm.
I think we got to the alpha, beta, gamma, delta cells.
Alpha,
If-
beta, gamma, delta.
Epithelium. Yeah. Yeah.
Where are they? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta.
I think you did one more, didn't you? Epithelium cell, feeling hunger. something like
Yeah,
that.
but where are they found? Because alpha, beta, gamma, delta nowadays you will also
the-
find in coronavirus. There are a lot of variation in so are
Yeah,
they type
no.
of corona or pancreatic gland cells?
No, they're pancreatic in the pancreatic cells.
So pancreatic cells, we study alpha, beta, gamma, delta in our pancreas, the 6-inch long gland located below our stomach, which is what most general function to manage the glucose and the insulin in our body. The lack of insulin will make us or the person diabetic patient here. Apart from this, the next now. So first of all, I will just revise the crown chakra, pituitary gland. First is the master gland, pituitary gland positioned crown chakra. About the chakras, we'll speak in the next week. But just the location we will be studying in the endocrine system now. So crown chakra, pituitary gland, the master gland which controls all the rest of the glands with the hypothalamus. The next is third eye chakra. Which gland is connected with the third eye chakra? Just tell me the name.
Pineal gland.
Pineal gland. The next one, throat chakra, means Vishuddhi chakra in Sanskrit. Which gland is connected with the throat chakra?
Thymus. Oh no, thyroid.
Yes, thyroid gland connected with the throat chakra. The next gland with
Thymus.
the heart chakra, thymus, connected with the heart chakra. Then the next pancreas, connected with which chakra?
Solar plexus. Is it?
Solar plexus. So we have seen the 5 chakras connected with the 5 glands. So I will write here now number 6. The adrenal gland. Adrenal gland. Where are the adrenal glands? First tell me which chakra will it associate? It will associate with the sacrum, sacral chakra, the second last chakra, the adrenal gland. Just it is what having the connection with the subtle body in the sacral chakra with the physical gland in our physical body, adrenal. So where are these adrenal glands actually located?
On the
Can
kidney.
you see? Yes, in the kidney or on the kidney, on the top of the,
I think on top of the kidney.
yeah, we will see. Can you see the whiteboard clearly, or shall I put it on the spotlight first? Give me 1 second. Oh my God, who is? Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah. I hope you can see the whiteboard as well. Yeah. So this adrenal gland, we have on the top of the kidney. So this is like a kidney. You see, these are the two kidneys on the in our lower back at the behind. Kidneys are located at the behind in our lower back. So this adrenal gland will be present on the top in a triangular shape. This adrenal gland will be located on the top of the kidney in the triangular shape. And this adrenal gland will have two surfaces. So external adrenal, that is outer adrenal cortex, and internal adrenal. So this gland will have two regions, the internal and external. So what are those regions known as? That I will write first. So it will be outer adrenal cortex and internal medulla. So we have outer adrenal cortex and the internal medulla, or the adrenal medulla. So, for example, this arm is an adrenal gland. So this surface is outer surface, will have different functions, and the inside layer of the adrenal gland will have another function. So this is what outer adrenal cortex, and this is what adrenal medulla inside. Both will have different hormones. Both have different functions that we will see. So one adrenal gland I have shaded like a stripe, and one I have kept like this. So just this is the outer surface in one adrenal I have shown in the top of the kidney. In the other diagram, I have just shown the internal. So over this, you will find this stripe as well. Looks like a Wi-Fi, but this is what the connection, the adrenal gland. Looks like the Wi-Fi signals on the top of the kidney. So the functions of this outer adrenal cortex. Understand the concept. So first I will write the external adrenal cortex. So external part of the adrenal gland. What will they do? They will produce the hormones after getting the signals from the pituitary, like glucocorticoid, the first, and mineral corticoid. So glucocorticoids will be released by external part of the adrenal gland to break down the proteins or the filaments in our body with the help of glucose, or to balance the glucose level in the blood cells. So glucocorticoid will be released also by the external part of the adrenal gland. Along with mineral corticoids are those hormones which are also released by the external part of the adrenal gland, outer part, not the inner part. These mineral corticoids will be helpful to balance the minerals in our body. To balance the minerals, amount of minerals in our body. Glucocorticoids to balance the glucose. Glucose is what? To break down proteins in our body. Similarly, along with this, there will be one more hormone released by this external adrenal gland, but only in male. Here, there will be androgens as well. Mostly, they produce this after the amount of androgens in the male are lacking. So these androgens are also released by the adrenal gland with the external part only in the males when they have the sexual hormones apart from they are known as the secondary hormones as well as the growth hormones. So these are what the hormones also produced by the adrenal gland, mostly in the male by the kidney on the top of the adrenal gland. These androgens are mostly released, also produced more by the gonad gland, that means our reproductive gland. But in the male, if the reproductive glands would not produce those amount of androgens required for the proper health and the growth of the bones or the muscles and the blood cells and the tissues, then the amount of androgens will also be released by the adrenal gland external part in some amount only, not completely. So secondary characteristics here in the male. Main purpose is all about glucocorticoids and mineral corticoids, external adrenaline. Then, what is adrenaline? We know what is adrenaline. What happens in the adrenaline? The fight or flight hormone. This fight or flight hormones will be released and produced by which? With the internal adrenal. So with the adrenal medulla, this will have two cells. I will erase this external adrenal. And the internal part of adrenal. So adrenal medulla, I will write. This will release these two cells, epine prime or non-epine prime. And these epine prime and non-epine prime cells function is to give the blood supply directly to the brain. So the fight or flight hormones. What does this mean, fight or flight hormones? Give me an example. Have you experienced this before?
You see a tiger in the road. you
Tiger on the road. Have you seen the tiger on the road? Great.
I've seen a lion, tiger,
Yes, but
yeah.
so we have that experience, like
Yeah.
watching a tiger in front
Right.
of us. The blood supply will be given directly to the brain, or even if you will do bungee jumping, like a jump from the height, and the bungee jumping, that fight or flight hormones will struck back to the brain. So giving the less blood supply to the other organs of our body, it will directly control and hit the target of the brain, so that brain will control only or protect only those parts and organs which is more important to health. So this is like fight or flight hormones. For me, even a dog running behind me in India, my fight or flight hormones get charged quickly. Here in India, crazy dogs on the streets as well activates my fight or flight hormones. I am honest about this. So this is what we have, this adrenaline or the adrenal medulla, which has these cells, epine prime, non-epine prime, doesn't need to remember, which generates or release the fight or flight hormones. That means giving the blood supply directly to the brain. Quick, sudden supply. These glands, adrenal, sacral chakra. Okay.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yes,
So
yes.
there's two kidneys. So for each kidney, there's two different. So the glucocorticoid and the mineral. So the external will be on one kidney, and the internal will be, or they're both on each, or they're both on the front and the back, maybe.
Yes.
Ah,
So they both are in the front and the back, not like
okay.
one kidney for external and one kidney
Yeah.
for internal.
Okay. All
There
right.
will be two kidneys, and on the two kidneys, there will be both in front and the back. But what we have
Okay.
shown, we have shown on one kidney external and on one kidney internal, but they both will have both internal and external. So on the first, for everyone, this outer surface of the adrenal gland will make glucocorticoids, mineral corticoids, and the internal surface of the adrenal gland will hit our fight or flight hormones like this. Now, all about sacral chakra connection. The second, about this, I will not speak now because there are some steps to talk about chakras. So just location, I will give it now. Then gonads. In simple and quickly, we will see what are the gonad glands. These are the reproductive glands, which are the gonad glands, also known as or associated with the root chakra, the first chakra. Gonad glands in the male are the testes and the female ovaries. Gonad glands will produce estrogens, androgens. Estrogens in female will be releasing the progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone will be more the female hormone for the growth of the female, for the growth of the fetus, for the growth of the breast, as well for the development of the bones and the tissues. They will have the testosterone hormone produced also for the growth of the human, along with androgens and estrogens, these two hormones. In short, we will speak about the gonad gland, which is associated with the root chakra. So these glands which we have seen up till now, the root chakra associated with our gonad gland, the testes in the male with the ovaries in the female ova. Then the adrenal gland above, which is connected to the sacral chakra. Then above that, the third chakra, solar plexus, we connect the pancreatic gland, and we have seen about the alpha and beta cells. Then on the heart chakra, we have connected our thymus gland, and the next with the throat chakra, we have connected our thyroid gland. The next with the pineal gland, third eye chakra, we have connected and have seen. And the important gland, the master gland, the gland which controls all the other glands with the help of hypothalamus, it connects to our crown chakra. That is what? Our pituitary gland. So we have just seen some of the hormones released by those glands in the endocrine system. Okay. Now, is it clear what we have studied from yesterday about the endocrine system? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Or yes?
Yes.
Okay.
All good. Thank you.
Clear.
All good. Great. So the next system, we have to also learn some things which we cover more in the 200 as well. So in short, we will also study about respiratory. In short, we will also know about digestive later. Now, We will speak and start with the respiratory. We will just introduce what is the respiratory system. So for this respiratory system, you all know the respiratory system. We inhale and exhale. So respiration is what? The process of inhalation and exhalation. Respiration is the process of inhalation and exhalation. Again, for example, always try to remember when we breathe or why do we need oxygen. When we breathe, our body intake oxygen and our body gives out carbon dioxide. But along with the oxygen and carbon dioxide, there will be many composition of the gases present in the air. So not only oxygen or carbon dioxide we breathe also the rest of the flue gases along with the nitrogen composition in the air. But that we don't need, our body don't need. So what do we need? Our cells in our body will need oxygen to survive and the nutrients from the food to survive. So what we need, we keep. What do we not need? We just give it out again. So what we will keep? Oxygen. With each inhale and each exhale. Do you practice pranayama, the respiration system? Pranayam, do you practice every day? Morning, evening, when do you practice? Morning or evening?
Morning.
Morning. Okay. So early morning when we practice the prana, the fresh prana helps. Or when we breathe, why do we need this pranayama? It helps the cells to survive. This prana where we control the breath and expand it in our body. While breathing, our rate of respiration is important, or our rate of inhalation must be equal to rate of exhalation. Just don't only hear this. This is the lifetime. You have to write this word. Even if I will not write on the whiteboard, the rate of inhalation should be equal to or less than the rate of exhalation. Always remember in your life, just not for the exam or anything. This is the thing we have to follow when we breathe. While we breathe now normally and naturally, we don't realize. So what we do breathe in a lot, but we do not exhale out completely. We exhale in a little amount. Always remember that time, this is a subconscious thing that when we breathe, even while I'm speaking, or we are talking, or when we are eating, or whenever we are doing any other activity, that time we do breathe, but with our subconscious mind. That time our air, we don't exhale much more, but we inhale a lot. That is absolutely wrong thing. So while practicing the pranayama, our rate, what we inhale, the same amount should be exhale, or we can exhale a little bit more, but try not to exhale a bit less when we breathe or when we do pranayama with our conscious part of our mind. That helps our prana to reach every corner and will help that cells and the tissues to live longer. Clear this thing about the inhalation and exhalation. How should we do? Yes, people, because this is more important.
Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Our rate of inhalation should be less than or equal to our rate of exhalation. That means we can breathe in and we have to breathe out equally or little bit more than the inhalation. That is what we have to keep it in mind. The more we will breathe out, the more prana will be moving in our body. This is not the right way we are breathing while we talk or while we do in any other actions. We don't even realize whether we are taking a complete breath or even when we are giving out a complete breath. What is the rate of respiration as well? Today we will just discuss in general about respiration, just in general. What is the rate of respiration in general? That means rate of respiration is how many breaths we take per minute.
15,
Yes.
something like that.
Anyone else? 15, 16, 17, 100 million? Or see, our rate of respiration depends upon our age. Always remember, as a small kid, for the children, for those kids and children breathe much more than 35 to 40 or more than 40 breaths per minute. But as the age will increase in the adult, like in between like 10 to 20, 10 to 30 years, 10 to 25 years, in between this age, the rate of respiration, what you said, the number in between 15 to 18. So like in between 15 to 18 number of respiration, we do take like in between 15 to 20, 22. Like this is the breath we do take per minute. But how it is calculated? On the basis when we lie down on the back in the supine position, when we are completely relaxed, we could calculate our rate of respiration. As the age increase much more, above 40, the rate of respiration will decrease. It will move down to less than 15, like up to 12 or up to 10 to 12 breaths per minute. Again, as the age will increase above 55 or 60. Yes, Liz. Yes, Liz.
Blaze made me speak because I was saying that I take 7 breaths per minute, and I was like, oh, is that bad?
You can take 7 breaths per minute, but you will see, I will tell you what is good or what is bad. I will tell you like slowly. So, yep, not bad. 7 breaths per minute, very good. Depends upon the age. So as the age also will increase, so I am taking the rate of respiration is not calculated like this, like you are sitting now eating, not like this. In a supine position when our body is completely relaxed, not we can count like this 7 breaths. So as the age will more increase above 60, 70 plus age, the rate of respiration is like this, 7 or 8 breaths. So depends upon the age. Why? Why it is so? Our body, the lungs, inside the lungs, whatever you see, the alveoli, the air sacs, little tiny air sacs, the kids does not get tired quickly, laying all the time. The age increase, the growth happens, the more pollutants, again the number of breaths decreases. For example, I will tell you, do you love pets or do you have any pets with you? Any one of you? Like a dog or a cat, at least you will have one dog or a cat. Have you seen that?
Two
Yes.
cats.
Two
Yes.
cats, two dogs. Okay. Great. So if you will tell me the lifespan of that dog or a cat, how much does this dog or the cat survive? Tell me the lifespan of the dog or the cat. Is it more than 20 or less than 20? 20 is also much more, I am saying. So as they breathe more faster as we breathe more faster, the lifespan is what? Much lesser. And if I will give you an example, have you seen a turtle or a tortoise? And if you have seen or heard about it, can you tell me the lifespan of the turtle or the tortoise?
Like hundreds of years, right?
Yes, so minimum 100, minimum, not an average. So is what the lifespan of the turtle or the tortoise? 150, 200, 250. So how much slow they can breathe, how much is the rate of respiration is what? It matters upon the breath we take. The more slow you go, the more benefit. So nothing bad with 7 or 8 breaths. It's good if you are in this age, if you are taking the 7 or 8 breaths in the adult. So our rate of respiration should be balanced completely, not much low also, not much high also. If it is low, then we will lack in oxygen in our blood cells. We will suffer from anemia. So it should be balanced, not much fast, not much slow as well. So we do practice this pranayama to keep our cells and tissues and organs healthy. Got it, people? The rate of respiration in the respiratory. Much important thing. So completely try to breathe in, but also remember, try to breathe out completely, not half breath out. We do take in, but we do not give it out completely. We give it half or 60%. So when we will breathe out completely, slowly, the more slow you will go, the more oxygen rich blood will flow in your body. The more slow you will exhale, the more oxygenated blood will be flowing in your arteries, veins, in your blood vessels. Okay. So there are the parts of the respiratory system. There is some process of the respiratory system. We will see about it as well in the tomorrow session. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Anything else? Need to ask in the respiration, or we studied in the endocrine about the glands? Anything else?
I just
If it is
wondered, I
Mhm.
think you said that you would look at the chakras again next week or something, but I wondered, like, if there was an imbalance in any of the hormones, how to, what approach to take in balancing the hormones, balancing the chakras.
Balancing the chakras is one thing. About the hormones, they do
Yeah.
get balanced automatically with the chakras. If we work
Okay.
on the subtle body, we work on the physical body as well. In the yoga, people work on the physical body. But if
Yeah.
we focus also on the chakras in the subtle body while we practice, it will balance the hormones. And to balance the hormones, we do this meditation, we do the asanas, but our awareness should be internally on chakras in every asana. But if we start about one chakra, it will be quite long. So in the next week, first we will just see about the system, and we cannot talk about the chakras directly. According to the syllabus, according to the teacher, we have different steps for that. So we should know some things about energy channels. We should know some things about prana. We should know some things about pranic energy, and then we should know about the chakras in deep. Then you will clear the concept. Directly, if I will jump on the chakras, half knowledge. We will go step by step. Okay, people, in the next week, first we will complete these two systems quickly tomorrow.
Thank you.
And before we end, we will chant one small prayer and Om one time. Then you can end up the meeting together. Just keep your back and spine straight and close your eyes. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramantu निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. Take a long breath and chant Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Open your eyes. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad and namaste. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I end the session. Thank you.